my team reporters babble Trump, Kevin Crop, look at that low plane, fine, then, overflow, population common food, but it'll do, save yourself, serve yourself, world serves its own needs, listen to your heartbeat, dummy with the rapture and the reverend and the right, you patriotic, slam, fight, bright, light, feeling, pretty sight.
Welcome back to the Intemperate Underground. Tasty cocktails for an uninhibited resistance. As always, we are streaming to you from a secure location. As news comes to us that true class is returning to Washington, starting with the Radio City Music Hall Rockettes being forced to perform a can-can show at the inauguration, we couldn't help but ask ourselves an important question. How to warm our hearts as the orange winter begins. Our answer? Hot buttered whiskey. You'll need 2 sticks or 8 ounces of good quality butter, 1 1/2 cups of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, 1 pinch of salt, 1/2 cup of agave nectar, 1/2 cup of whiskey. You can try different whiskeys to suit your taste, but we have selected Jameson, a nice blended Irish whiskey, which works well in this drink. Before we can make the drink itself, we first need to make our hot buttered whiskey batter. The key to this step is to use good butter. We've selected a nice Irish butter to go with our Irish whiskey. Because we will be blending the butter with other ingredients, you want to let it warm to room temperature. No, you do not want to try to expedite this step, unless you are a right-wing nut. In that case, by all means, wrap the butter in an extra layer of foil and heat in the microwave along with an open cup of ammonia and some molasses. Once the butter is at room temperature, you should start by creaming it with the brown sugar. There is no liquid yet, so the mixture won't cream perfectly, but you still want to make sure that it is well combined. Next, add the dry spices and make sure they are well combined as well. Now we can add the agave nectar, and the cream should become very nice. When we add the whiskey, our concoction will almost immediately look less pleasant, more like something that would ooze out of the pustule on an angry Fox News viewer's bright red neck than anything we would want to intentionally put in our mouth. But keep the faith. Last, we will spread our curdled goo in a small baking dish. Before using our batter, we need to cover it and place it in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours. While we wait for chilling to work its magic, let's break for a regular libtard update. A foray into the land of people with critical thinking skills and sequentially firing neurons. First up, we recommend a thought-provoking post by Marcy Wheeler on the blog EmptyWheel.net. Ms. Wheeler discusses communicating with Trump supporters in the language that they have been conditioned to understand instead of triggering their defense mechanisms. Obviously, this is not our style, but we still think Ms. Wheeler has a point. If someone could apply her good advice and explain Ryan Cooper's must-read article about balanced billing to people stupid enough to vote Republican, well...
Yeah. If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
We have been reminiscing about Obama's first inauguration and his moving call to honor the King Day of Service. The whole thing seemed pretty classy to us, even if the quartet did play classical air guitar. That said, the inaugural poem, Elizabeth Alexander's composition, Praise Song for the Day, was, well, a bit of a low point.
I ask to be or not to be. A rogue or peasant slave is what you see. A boy who loves his mother's knee. And so I ask to be or not to be.
Who are we kidding? At least that rhymed. But we still think that the upcoming festivities could stoop even lower. There once was an orange asshat from Nantucket.
It's not true.
No, it's true.
That's impossible.
No. It happened. All of that stuff happened.
No!
So here's the good news. So Macy's, I sell shirts and ties, did nicely and all. Not a big business or anything, but cute. And fragrance and cufflinks. See these cufflinks from Macy's? Some people think it's Harry, Winston, or Tiffany. It's actually Macy's. And they're good, Trump cufflinks. And like I'm going to tell you about Macy's, but you go to Macy's, you know, a lot of the stores, they don't use Christmas. They say Happy Holidays, Happy...
Yes, we have been making Blues Brothers and Star Wars references for a reason. The sad passing of Carrie Fisher. She was not just a cultural icon, but a funny, thoughtful woman. We are sorry that we were never able to cross seeing her one-woman show, Wishful Drinking, off our bucket list. Speaking of wishful drinking, through the magic of chilling, our batter should have set up nicely. It is still not beautiful, but more like Irish oatmeal than a gelatinous bodily fluid. To make it beautiful, we need to use our batter to make the drink. First, place about 1/12 of the batter in a standard-sized coffee cup. Don't be stingy, the batter is comfort food on steroids. And we have a bartending tip alert. The sticky batter will not drop. What to do? Do not use your fingers. In good bartending, you should avoid directly using your hands as much as possible. To train yourself, just pretend that you have stubby orange fingers and that anything you touch will taste like tanning lotion, rancid meat, and ass crack. Now, with that out of the way, we add 1 shot of whiskey to our cup. After the whiskey, we add hot water. Last, we stir to dissolve the batter and serve. A tasty concoction that, for at least a sip or two, will remind you that there is still goodness in the world. With heartwarming goodness in hand, let's end with a toast. Resist. Don't resent. Or hate. Remember, if you had a dick that small, you would be mad at God too.